our channel. We're Nick and Julie, and we've been exploring the Florida Keys. Key West is loaded with history. There's historic buildings everywhere you look, and today we'll be checking out its oldest attractions. Right on Key West Main Street, Duval Street, sits Key West's oldest house museum. Richard Cousins built the oldest house in 1829. He was born in the Bahamas in 1806 and came to Key West by 1828. He was a builder and merchant and constructed the 1.5-story home that is 322 Duval Street today. This is the oldest house in Key West, built in 1829. Wow, they decorated it beautifully. I don't know if these are all originals or not, but look how beautiful this is. He rented this house to Francis and Emmeline Watlington. They had 9 daughters. Francis was a sea captain, served as harbor master and state legislator in 1859. He then joined the Confederate Navy in 1862 in Alabama. He resided there until returning to Key West by 1885, where he died in 1887. Emmeline had died in 1881, leaving the house to her daughters. Their youngest daughter, Lily, never married and lived in the house until her death at age 80 in 1936. Earl Johnson, the great-grandson of Francis and Emmeline, resided in the house until his death in 1972, and so the same family occupied this house for 140 years. It has survived fires, floods, hurricanes, and economic hardships, and serves as a physical chronicle of the history of Key West and its people from the earliest days to today. The house is owned by the state of Florida. Yeah, they did a very good job of decorating this place. Yeah, you can eat that. There's 24-hour video surveillance, by the way. They just watched you try to eat that. Here, try to eat these. Ooh. Look, they have a whole cake with fruits and everything. Yum. Thanks. Wow. What a cool room. Look at this giant ship model. This is the little cookhouse. So the food was cooked here and brought into the house. And there's a little garden in the backyard as well. Our next stop is the Custom House, home of the Key West Museum of Art and History. An iconic building in Key West stands out among the surrounding buildings in its architecture and red color. It was opened in 1891 and was used as the Custom House, post office, federal courthouse, and lighthouse offices. It heard thousands of cases and judgments ranging from rum runners to ship salvaging claims. The most important one was the 1898 sinking of the USS Maine in Havana Harbor, which led to the Spanish-American War. We are at the Custom House Museum. I'm trying to be really quiet because it's quiet in here. It's a museum. So this is the Custom House Naturalist display. The Custom House building is itself really impressive. Look at the tall ceilings. The crown molding. How tall are these doors? 12 feet? That's crazy. Look at these windows. And all the exhibits.
They have a lot of fireplaces, so it'd be nice and toasty in the winter time.
Yeah.
I mean, it only gets down to like 60, but still.
In the 1930s, the customs offices, district court, and post office moved into new locations. The Navy moved in. Even though the Custom House was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1973, the Navy abandoned it after it was done with it, fenced it off, left it to feral cats and general decay. Renovations began in the 1990s that cost nearly $9 million and took 9 years. It was finally completed in 1999, and the Key West Art and Historical Society reopened the Custom House as the Key West Museum of Art and History. There are permanent and temporary exhibits on display. When we visited, there was a Flora and Fauna Naturalist exhibit, Tennessee Williams exhibit, Henry Flagler's Oversea Railway exhibit. We also saw some cool Ernest Hemingway belongings, like his World War I medic uniform still stained with blood. Beautiful place to learn about Key West history, art, people, and events. Interesting little snippet about Hemingway. He was in Key West during that Labor Day hurricane of 1935 that killed 450 World War I veterans and others. It just brushed Key West, but he went up with his boat to help with rescue and relief efforts. This is the model of Key West waterfront in the 1850s. You can see Fort Taylor in the top right corner. Pretty sparse in the 1850s still. We're at the Key West Aquarium. This is the oldest attraction in Key West. It was first opened in 1935 and it has been opened ever since. Construction of the Key West Aquarium began in 1933, a WPA project. The Works Projects Administration was a federal program that employed millions of job seekers to carry out public works projects during the Great Depression. The idea was to attract visitors to the island, boost the local economy, and serve as a showroom for other aquariums wishing to feature Key West's diverse native marine life in their own exhibits. Construction of the aquarium took 2 years. The concrete used for the structure and holding tanks was mixed with salt water from the ocean, as fresh water was hard to come by in those days. It opened in February 1935, just in time for the first official tourist season. The Key West Aquarium was a major attraction and was the first open-air aquarium in the continental U.S. The success did not last, as only 7 months after opening, a major hurricane struck the Middle Keys on Labor Day of 1935, destroying Henry Flagler's Overseas Railroad that was the only way to reach Key West at the time besides boat. In 1943, the aquarium was leased by the U.S. military for use as a firing range until the end of World War II. The 90-foot-long enclosed hallways provided the needed range. After it was returned to the city, a roof was added in the 1960s, discouraging algae growth that plagued many of the exhibits. By the late 1970s, the aquarium was showing signs of age and was closed for several years to undergo restoration and expansion. Interior exhibits were enhanced from the ground up, including new signage about the local waters and its animals. The Atlantic Shores exhibit was constructed. A 50,000-gallon exhibit provided space for large species of game fish, tropical fish, sharks, sea turtles, and a mangrove shoreline. The Key West Aquarium reopened in 1982, just as tourism was becoming the main economic engine for Key West. Giant isopods. They're normally between 500 to 7,000 feet deep in the ocean. That's crazy. It's like my hand for comparison. Look at all the lionfish. They look really cool, but they're invasive here in Florida. So you're allowed to kill them if you see them, and I guess they're good eating too. Look how cool they look though. That's a really cool looking shrimp. Beautiful anemones and polyps. Also an outdoor exhibit here where you can see all the species that you can see in the Florida Keys, like the nurse sharks, tarpon, things like that, and the mangroves. 3 nurse sharks, probably 6 feet long, just laying around here. Look at that eel. Those things are just so creepy looking, oh my goodness. Walked around the aquarium, it was pretty cool. It's a small aquarium, it's pretty nice.
It was opened in 1935.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Nemo is requesting that you please join us in the main gallery in 10 minutes.
Okay, we shall go, Captain Nemo. Let's go.
Captain Nemo is calling.
Okay, bye guys, we have to go. Just recently, in 2023, the aquarium underwent refurbishment. There are a range of daily presentations and animal feedings going on throughout the day. There is also a touch tank. So many historic sites in Key West, and today we were able to visit only 3 of them. We'll try to visit more soon, but for now, hope you enjoyed our day in Key West. Remember to hit like if you did, and we'll see you in the next video.